Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our May 26, 2026 council meeting. Councilman Sanders would like to lead us in the pledge tonight, so let's please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll lead us into prayer. Father God, just thank you so much for the freedoms and the liberties that we have in this country. And I just thank you for all the servicemen and women here locally around our country and abroad that keep us safe. And Lord, we just thank you for the opportunity to make wise decisions tonight. Just guide us and bless us in our discussions. And Lord, we just thank you so much for the springtime, all the weather and the rain and everything bringing flowers and things to life and bloom this season. So, Lord, be with us tonight and have us have safe travel mercies on the way home from here. In your holy and precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Sorry. All right. So with that, we will open the regular meeting. And we will start with the consideration of the approval of the minutes from the April 28th, 2026 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion has been properly made and seconded by Councilman Cuthbert and Councilman Faulkner. All those in favor of the approval of the April 28th meeting minutes, assign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, minutes are approved. Next order of business will be the additional appropriations. Madam Auditor.
Ordinance number 2026-HCCO-17, additional appropriations. Whereas it has been determined that it's now necessary to appropriate more money than was appropriated in the 2026 annual budget, now therefore be it ordained by the County Council of Howard County, Indiana, that for the expenses of the taxing unit, the following additional sums on money are hereby appropriated out of the funds named and for the purposes specified, subject to the laws governing the same. County General Fund, Veteran Service Office, Veteran Service Officer, did I do that right? Or sorry, Veteran Service Office, 1,321, Veteran Service Officer, let me do that again. Sorry. Veteran Service Officer, 1,321. Council dues and subscription, $10. Board of Commissioners insurance deductibles, $150,000. Probation, administrative assistant, $3,295.45. Probation officer reduction, $3,992. Administrative assistant, $3,295.45. Administrative assistant, $3,295.45. Part-time assistant reduction, $18,976. Emergency management deputy director, $1,919. Total county general fund, $143,463.80. Local road and street fund, salt, $10,263.86. Total local road and street, $10,263.86. Misdemeanor fund, equipment, $28,500. Total misdemeanor fund, $28,500. Elected officials training fund, travel and training council reduction, $10. Total elected officials training fund reduction, $10. Did I say $10? Sorry. Lit Correctional Facilities, equipment repair, $660,000. Total Lit Correctional Facilities, $660,000. Supplemental Adult Probation Fund, part-time legal secretary, $3,295.45. Administrative assistant, $3,295.45. Part-time administrative assistant, reduction $6,325. Total supplemental adult probation fund $265.90. Pretrial Services Grant Fund, FICA reduction 1,913. Total additional appropriations for all funds, $840,570.56.
Thank you very much. All right, first up, we have Human Resources Director, Ms. Carrie Reniker.
Good afternoon. I am here this afternoon to request an increase in 2 salary lines for 2 of our positions. And this is because I recently reviewed our positions and the statuses that we have them labeled at, as non-exempt or exempt. And we are out of compliance with the Department of Labor and the salary minimum for exempt employees. So I identified 2 positions that we have labeled as exempt, and those are appropriately labeled. We did review that, and they are appropriately labeled, but we do need to increase those salaries to be in compliance with the DOL. So the request for VSO was a total of $1,321 to increase the salary for the remainder of 2026. And that is Fund 1,011-105-0012. And then for the Deputy Director for EMA, the increase is $1,919 to increase that salary for the remainder of 2026. That is Fund 1,339-0302. Any questions?
What triggers you to look and say, are they above the minimum or below the minimum?
It's my job.
Well, you're doing a good job of it, so thank you.
There was a change in some of the minimum requirements, and so I was reviewing it
Okay.
as a reaction to that.
You're still doing a good job, though.
Oh, well, thanks, Frank.
Was this something that was gone before the PAC? I can't remember. Did it get discussed?
We
with
had a
some of them?
discussion,
Yeah.
just sort of as part of another PAC meeting that we were having, so yes, we did discuss it.
Perfect. Yeah. Any other questions? You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is County Council, so I guess that throws me up to bat here. So when we set our budget last year, we set our budget and we cut some things on some travel, training, and subscriptions and that sort of thing. Unbeknownst to us, the dues and subscriptions, I think for the AIC, went up just a little bit. And we didn't account for that, so we were short $10 in our council dues and subscriptions. So what I am proposing is that we do an additional for $10 to cover that out of the council general fund budget, and then offset that by reducing the elected officials training fund, the travel training for the council, specifically for us, by $10 to cover that cost, so we are not in the red. Any questions? Won't let that happen again. Maybe. Okay, all right. Stephanie Cole is coming. She's a little bit late, so we will kind of jump down to the next item, which would be County Highway, and Amber Toll is up.
Yes, I am requesting an increase in our SALT line for the 2025-26 budget this year, and that is for a total of $10,263.86. That was our last purchase for the 25-26 winter season for SALT. And the reason that we need to increase our line item, and the reason I wanted to do an additional to that, is to show that we will need to increase that line item for the future in our budgets that are coming up here very shortly. So the cost of salt has gone up substantially in the last 4 years. It's gone up since the 22-23 season. It's gone up $15.47 per ton, and that's about a 20% increase. So it has gone up more than we have anticipated it going up. So we just didn't have enough in that fund line. And then the reason that I wanted to do an additional is because I actually just got an email today that said our road salt budget, we do the state budget for salt. We go in with the state and we get state bid salt numbers. And we just got an email today that said those are gonna be delayed, so I won't even know that number until budgets are actually due for next year, and we are anticipating those going up pretty substantially because the salt was in a very high demand this last year and very short supply. We actually didn't get our last delivery of salt until late April. That's how late these deliveries were. So we do have enough to start our next season, but we're going to need to increase that line item next year, so.
Down payment for this winter.
Yes, exactly, yep, so.
I assume, since you're starting the brining process, you are going through a little bit more salt that way?
We
or-
hope to go through a little bit less. So
Okay.
as we kind of understand the process a little bit better, I think we did pretty good this last winter. We just didn't have a whole lot of storms to deal with, so we're still learning that process. But I do anticipate lowering the amount that we would need. We actually order substantially lower than any other community that I've seen. So we only order 700 tons of material, and we make that last through the entire winter. And that's increased from when I started here.
How are we able to do that lower than any other community around?
I think we use it as effectively as it possibly can be used. A lot of communities don't, we do a salt sand mix in our trucks. So we are kind of able to spread that out a little bit further. And we just work it. We use manpower instead of salt power. So we're trying to balance that out. There's also a cost to manpower and machinery and all that stuff too. So we're trying to kind of find that sweet spot where we use the material effectively and then the manpower as effectively too. So, yeah,
Good luck with that.
thanks. It all just depends on the winter we get too, so,
That's right.
yep.
Amber, you mentioned that you buy salt through the state, there's a
The
state
state bids.
process. Is there anything similar to that for like diesel fuel or anything like that, you know, like if you were part of a bigger consortium of buyers that diesel
Yeah.
fuel prices might be
Not that I
lower?
know of. We do annual bids for diesel fuel,
Okay.
and so we bid those at the end of each year for the following year. And this year, we have done very well with our diesel bids, because we're right around $3 a gallon for our
Okay.
diesel right now. So it is really well, and that's a fixed bid that we have through the
Okay.
entirety
Pre-war.
of this year.
Awesome.
So, yeah, we
Yeah.
won pretty hard on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was a good one. So
Yeah.
it just depends.
I-
So
I know,
we do an
Frank,
annual bid.
I've seen at some AIC events, there's some different programs that you can get in and try to play the market, if you will, to try to lock in some of those, but that's not up to me. That's more of a county program if you want to look at locking in diesel or gasoline, but it has risk to it as well. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
yeah.
It
And
could
when
go
we-
up and you get caught.
Yeah, when we do our annual bids, we ask for a fixed price and we ask for a fluctuating price. And the fixed price this year, actually the last several years, we've gone with the fixed price because it did come in pretty well. And we ended up winning pretty good on that one this year. So we just pay market price for our gasoline, which we don't use that as much. We use almost exclusively diesel, so, yeah.
Is there a quantity, volume limit to it, or?
There is, I think we do 50,000 gallons is kind of our standard. We're not held to that, but that's kind of the minimum
That's all,
we ask them to
and then
bid.
negotiated fixed price?
Yes, yeah, that's how we negotiate the fixed price, yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Is that everything?
Anybody else?
All right, thanks.
Stephanie, do you want to go? You want Sheriff to go? He stood up. Go ahead. Oh. All right, Stephanie, he's letting you go. Sorry to. Yeah, you're good. Thank you. I know it's a shortened work week, and so I feel you.
Okay, so part of my request is from a PAC request that I had that was approved. So we had a part-time administrative assistant position that covered our court and our VOCA match. We have 6 administrative assistants that I have requested to move those duties to those administrative assistants. And so to do that, distributing these funds. So that's to distribute these funds, and then I de-appropriated that part-time administrative assistant position. In county general, the 11245, that's just to reduce, we're only covering a certain part, we don't need the full 5,000, the rest was picked up by that grant for that salary, so that's that reduction. And then the reduction in the pretrial services for FICA, that amount was not approved in the grant, so that part just needs to be reduced.
Okay. Any questions for Stephanie? All right.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, now Sheriff Asher.
Good afternoon, how we doing? Everybody had an amazing weekend, I'm sure? Yes, everybody looks excited. Okay, good. We are asking for a drawdown, I think there's a little over $100,000 in misdemeanor fund for equipment. We're asking for $28,500 drawn down. That is just half. What we are doing, we've had body cams for my patrol folks, a few jail, my transport folks for several years now. They've worked well. I was hesitant at first, but they've actually proven us wrong far more than they've proven otherwise. So what we want to do now is for my correctional staff to use while they're working as well in the jail. As you know, litigation has, I don't know if I want to say an all-time high, but it's pretty quickly turning that way. And they don't have those available to them. We use Axon on the street. They're very expensive, but they work very, very well. What we're going to do is SAS is the company that we use for our video system, and it's an Exact Vision software. We're going to get body cams through SAS. It goes directly into our servers at the jail, so we'll have that body cam footage of instances during that time. So I'm asking for half, $28,500 out of drawdown out of misdemeanor fund, and I'm going to pay the other out of commissary, the other half out of commissary.
Would the plan be for the deputies to be wearing this all the time when they're on duty?
The deputies, you talking about for the jail?
The jail?
Yes, yes, just like the deputies do. Deputies wear them all the time. Anytime they have interaction, they are required to turn those on. Same thing for the jail staff will be, yes. So then, like I said, it goes right into our collector at the jail, so if we have an incident, then we can pull the video from maybe a hallway or a block, and then also incorporate the body cam footage into that as well. So it'll put a good picture together of what happened. So I think it's a good thing.
Have you noticed a difference since you've been using the body cams like that? I mean, how about like in a trial or in how effective they are, or are the judges looking at them or who's using them?
Yes, that's probably one of the first things people ask for is body cam footage. So we want to see, we not only see a report, but you want to see the video, what happens. Little difference in when I started. Most people used to say that, okay, the report was good enough, and they didn't. Now they say that you got to prove it through a video. So that's one of the first things they'll ask for. Our prosecutor's office, they have access to the Axon system between us and the city of Kokomo uses Axon as well. So they can download and view the video from our system and don't even have to ask us for that. So they get an arrest, pull the body cam footage, and put it with their case or with their report to do a prosecutive as well. So, yeah, prosecutor's office already has had it for several years, access to Axon to pull that video, so.
But these are not Axon, correct?
This is not Axon, this is
Is there-
something different for the jail.
Is there any kind of compatibility issue, or is that even?
No, this is two totally different systems, there won't be a compatibility issue whatsoever. We just thought it's best, for one thing, it's a little bit cheaper to do it this way because it's a different company than Axon. And it integrates already into the camera system we use at the jail. So SAS is who we use out of Indianapolis for our camera system at the jail with the Exact Vision software. these body cams incorporate right into that. So if we used Axon in the jail, then we would have to take the Axon system and then download it and add it to the, you know, the report that we are already getting. So this is, I think, just a more seamless way of doing it and a little less expensive too. So. yeah,
Is
so
there
it incorporates-
increased, sorry,
Yeah.
is there increased cost for like subscriptions by adding these? Any more cameras to the system?
We need to take his microphone
Yeah.
away. He gets so excited. To my knowledge, no, there's not.
Okay.
We pay quite a bit already for our camera system and our server. Basically, it's server space that we have to pay SAS for that, so. As with anything, I'm sure it will increase over the years, but right now, no. And same system we are planning on using in the new facility, so I know that's a couple of years away. Body cams should last, you know, good 3 years. Hopefully, we could just take those with us, maybe get a refresh after the new jail and continue using them there, so. But we are using SAS for our security system at the new facility at some point.
That was my next question. Thank you.
Yep. I knew it was on the tip of your tongue.
Any other questions for Sheriff Asher?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, last on the additional appropriations is the Board of Commissioners. I'm not sure if Pam or Jack is going, but your names are both on there, so.
So we have two requests. So which one would you like to do first?
How about the insurance deductibles?
Okay. Unfortunately, we are asking for 150,000 additional appropriations due to high insurance deductible costs so far this year. You can give them the history where we're at previous.
So you appropriated $120,000 in the budget this year. We have already spent that, and we think 150 may get us through the end of the year. We have quite a bit of litigation. Most of it is law enforcement liability, like the sheriff alluded to. I don't know that there's a way around it, but some of this is litigation from 23, 24, and 25. So we're just concerned that these are ongoing cases, and it just takes time to get these settled.
I think the magic word that Pam used was may get us through. We're not sure that'll get us through. So this is where we think we are right now, but we're not sure.
There's not a
Any
lot.
questions on insurance deductibles?
Is there anything else we're using the deductible appropriation for besides the jail, or is it mostly vehicles, or is it, I mean,
So this year, we're self-insured.
yes,
And so one of the things that, because we're self-insured, we have all of that payment also. But that was in the policy line. And one of the things that the council needs to think about for 2026 is we need to have a separate fund, because we're self-insured in property and casualty now. We saved about $500,000 from our policies, and we need to have that set aside so that we can continue to pay those self-insured claims and the escrow for that.
We'd like to see that build from year to year. So we take those savings, build it, so we've got money to pay these claims. That's the whole purpose in doing that. And this year was, would you say 500 roughly?
Yeah.
Pam, what's the term you used a moment ago? We're self-insured and what?
Property and casualty.
Thank you.
Yeah, that makes sense. When we did the budget, I think some of this was somewhat being discussed, but nothing was hashed out until
Right, we weren't finished yet,
late
correct.
25. So that is probably something we should consider. Yeah.
Any questions on that?
So we plan on saving about $500,000 a year by being self-insured, is that what I heard?
On premiums, yes.
Premiums, thank you.
Any other questions?
All right, move on to the 1233, the equipment repair.
Heat pumps.
Heat
So
pumps.
this is to finish up the heat pumps at the jail. And in mid-December, we asked for an appropriation of $2 million out of 1233. You gave it to us. That was fantastic. The heat pumps finished in 2026, and this is the final bill. We did not encumber any money last year to be able to pay this bill, and so we're asking for an additional appropriation. It is on your line item for $660,000. We are actually gonna reduce that to $460,000. That will pay that bill and finish that off.
Yeah,
And we'll be done with the heat pump out there at the current jail.
yeah,
You say 460,000?
Correct.
yeah. So that's good. I was trying to clarify with Pam and Jessica today that was the number. So we basically kind of came in under budget what we had initially estimated.
Under what we had budgeted.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. We got that IOED grant for
Oh,
$200,000, which
Yeah.
helped us then
Yep.
continue with the heat pump project.
Yeah.
So how much was the total cost for the heat pump project?
Off the top of my head, I want to say it's like 2.2 million, but that is,
Almost 3.
that's the best I have standing here right now.
Okay.
That was
Thank you.
before the grant and everything kicked in.
Correct.
Yeah.
So do we want to appropriate the 660,000, or do we want to appropriate 460,000? I mean, from what you just said.
So the bill is 459,000 something. There are no more bills expected. So we think we can get by with the 460 and would be happy if you appropriated that and didn't worry about the other 200,000.
We
It's
appreciate
paid and
that.
done with.
Yep. Yep. Well, I appreciate you doing all that. I know we tried to get it, we haggled with this a little bit going clear back into August last year, what to do and how to make it work. And we were hoping to get it all in calendar year 2025, but didn't quite work out. But looks like we're going to come out okay on it, so.
Just thinking ahead just a little bit, and maybe John might be a person to ask, or you too, but how long would a new heat pump like this typically last?
You can fully expect 15 years out of one if
So
if
do
it's
we have a
properly
plan?
maintained.
Okay, so do we have a plan are we going to be able to utilize these at all in the new facility?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so we are going to be able to.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to move over to the new facility.
Yeah, you won't pick them up and move them to the new facility, but remember, we're going to renovate and utilize
Okay.
our current jail
So
so
does-
they'll be used there.
Yeah.
This way.
We appreciate the council working with us on this. It's been a long project to get these done, so.
But it's done now, is it not, for both the youth center and the jail, is that right?
Just,
This is just the
just the
jail.
jail.
Just the jail, so
The
we
current
still
jail.
got another phase.
That's what I did.
Okay,
Very good with that?
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, that's all the additional appropriations. For what it's worth, I think my math, the new total, if you would like to appropriate 460,000 instead of the 660, would be a total additional appropriations for all funds of $640,570.56. And Madam Auditor has backed me up on that.
Mr. President, I move we approve these additional appropriations as has been presented with that particular modification.
Second.
All right. Motion's been properly made and seconded by Councilman Faulkner and Councilman Sanders. All those in favor of approval of ordinance HCCO 2026 HCCO-17, assign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, additional appropriations carry. Next up on the agenda are our transfers for tonight.
Resolution number 2026-HCCR-09 transfers. Whereas the county council may approve the transfer of money from one major budget classification to another within a department or office if the transfer does not require the expenditure of more money than the total amount set out in the budget as finally determined, and if the transfer is approved at a regular public meeting and by the proper ordinance. Be it resolved by the County Council of Howard County that it's desired and deemed necessary that the following transfers be made within the accounts of the designated funds as set out below. Cumulative Capital Development Fund, Building and Structure Repair to Police Equipment Sheriff, $10,000. Community Corrections 2024 Fund, Food to Meal Reimbursements, $900.
All right, first up, we have Sheriff Asher again.
Looking real quick here. That was $10,000, I think.
Moving from building structure repair
Oh,
to
yeah.
police
Here we go.
equipment.
Yeah, I think we start out at $50,000 in building and structure repair that we have. This is a fund that we use at the sheriff's office. Bill Stone Street has his own building and repair. The police equipment for our new squad cars went up significantly over the last year, so we're asking to basically take money out of that building and structure and put it into police equipment for upfitting our new squad cars. Yes. So I think for the next budget cycle, we'll have to do an adjustment. We'll see what that turns out to be. Maybe add a little bit so we don't have to do a transfer. So, but right now, we're doing fine. I know it's early in the year, so that could come back. Hopefully not jinx ourselves here with the building and structure repair, but we'll play it by ear when that happens. So, like I said, we start out at $50,000 in that fund, and we're asking to move $10,000 to police equipment.
Do you still have a merit officer doing most of that in-house?
We don't. I mean, they do, we send it down, we started sending them down to Passive Security Solutions out of Noblesville to get those done. We bring them back, then he finishes them up, so we do have him do some of the work for us, still saves us quite a bit of money in that aspect. But we still have to purchase the lights and the sirens and those kind of things. His labor definitely helps out,
Yeah.
though, so.
Well, that's why I remember there's somebody that helps do that.
There
So,
is.
Yeah, thank you.
Sheriff, is there any special training you guys go through to keep the lights on your squad cars? You know, they're flashing all the time when you're on a call and they're flashing while you're doing your work. How do you keep your
Well, we're
focused in with all those lights flashing off all the time?
easy to do on day shift, hard to do on midnights. So that's just something I guess you just have to get used to, just training. We have emergency vehicle operation training. We're required by state statute to do 2 hours a year, which we do that. We do that in the spring for an hour. We do that in the fall for an hour. You usually see us over at General Motors plant. There off the boulevard. We were there in April. We'll be back there in October. Generally, that's during the daytime, though. We don't want to upset the neighbors by having flashing lights at nighttime. So it's just training the experience and on-the-job training, I would say. You just have to get used to the lights flashing and those kind of things.
Is there any known side effects that happen from continued exposure to bright lights like that, flashing lights?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
Only if you're being arrested.
That is not it. But to my knowledge, John, no. There are known issues with law enforcement officers, their physical bodies, but generally I don't know that anything to do with that. Most of that is knees, backs, sleep issues by working midnights for long periods of time and trying to sleep during the daytime. There's documented issues on those things, but I don't know anything about the flashing lights and that
Yeah.
causing any long-term problems.
Okay.
So, best thing you could do is not having lights inside the car, interior lights like what's called eyebrow lights.
Mm-hmm.
Those cause a lot of flashback into the window and cause issues. But normally we would put the lights on top of the cars to try to cut down from that kind of stuff. So, yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Stephanie again.
This request is for the grant, the food line. The grant they had made some changes as to what you can use out of that line item, and what we were using it for originally for like our advisory board meals and such can't be paid out of that anymore. So, I'm just requesting to transfer that to our meal reimbursements, for the meals at work release for the clients. So.
Any comments on that? All right, Martha did the same thing I did. Thank you. All right, that finishes all the presentations on Resolution 2026 HCCR-09. Do I hear any motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Is there a second? All right. Motion's been properly made and seconded by Councilwoman Lake and Councilman Roberts. All those in favor, sign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, transfer is approved. And then we have a salary ordinance amendment. Jessica, you're up.
Ordinance number 2026-HCCO-18, salary ordinance amendments. An ordinance amending and increasing staffing and salary authorization to be paid county employees for the calendar year effective January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2026, as originally approved for the year 2026, except where otherwise noted. Be it ordained by the Council of Howard County, Indiana, that for the said fiscal year, the following salary amendments are approved as additional changes to the basic salary ordinance for the same fiscal year. Necessary personal services appropriations have been approved previously to support the required expenditure of necessary funds. County General Fund, Veteran Service Officer, $1,321. Probation Administrative Assistant, $3,295.45. Probation Officer CO, reduction, $3,992. Administrative Assistant, $3,295.45. Administrative Assistant, $3,295.45. Administrative Assistant, $3,295.45. Part-time Administrative Assistant, reduction, $18,976. Emergency Management Deputy Director, $1,919. Supplemental Adult Probation Fund, Part-time Legal Secretary, $3,295.45. Administrative Assistant, $3,295.45. Part-time Admin Assistant, reduction, $6,325. Pretrial Services Grant Fund, FICA, reduction, $1,913.
All right, thank you very much. Is there any discussion or motions for the salary ordinance amendment? All right, I'll take a motion.
Move to approve the salary ordinance as presented.
Second.
All right, I have, the motion's been properly made and seconded by Councilman Alexander and Councilman Faulkner. All those in favor, sign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Salary ordinance carries. All right, next up, we have, I think that's all the normal business. Do we have any old business tonight? Okay, hearing none. What about new business? Max, come on down.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. Happy Memorial Day, happy post-race weekend. My name is Max Adams, attorney with Barnes and Thornburg, serving as bond counsel for the county jail project. I have for you today one resolution. You should, I put a packet of 2 documents at everyone's desk. Should be a resolution and then a lease in the back. So, resolutions for the county jail project, it does 2 things. It approves the project and it approves the lease. The project, obviously, pretty straightforward, approving the jail project. The lease is part of the financing structure for the bonds that we'll be paying for the county jail project. The lease is a lease between the county and a nonprofit corporation known as a building corporation that has already been established, and they've met for the first time to meet again next week. The purpose of the building corporation is to actually issue the bonds. The reason we establish a building corporation is to get around state debt laws in terms of the amount of debt that each taxing unit can have outstanding at any given time. This financing structure is very common for school corporations. I'd say 90% of the debt that I see from our school corporation clients are done in this fashion. They're also popular for larger projects such as these. So the building corporation will be the actual issuer of the bonds. They will enter into a lease with the county for, we're going to be leasing as the county courthouse and the project site where the jail will be. County will make lease rental payments under that lease to the building corporation. The building corporation will take those payments and make debt service payments on the bonds. I mentioned the lease is for the county courthouse as well as the project site. The project site is, self-explanatory. The county courthouse, the reason we are leasing that as well, we're leasing it for the construction period, so 2 or 3 years, give or take, usually. The reason we do that is because we cannot make lease rental payments unless we have a leasable asset, meaning an asset that is usable, that can be occupied, and obviously the jail will not be usable and occupied until it's completed. If we can't make lease payments, then we can't make payments on those bonds. And obviously bondholders would expect to receive at least interest payments during that 2 to 3 year period when the bonds are outstanding. So we otherwise would have to borrow those costs from the overall bond amount that we borrow. To get around that, we find a different leasable asset, in this case the county courthouse, and the county is fortunate that it has an asset that it can lease during this time that is of sufficient value to cover those first few years. So we include that in the lease. It will save the county several $1 million in those first few years in interest payments and possibly principal payments depending on how the bonds are structured. So wanted to bring that up. We need to, this is sort of the lease approval is sort of step 1 in this process. The Board of Commissioners already approved the form of the lease. Building Corporation has also done the same. The County Council now has to approve the project and the lease as sort of, as part of this process. We need to do this now, and then next week the Board of Commissioners will approve the execution of the lease, hold a public hearing on the lease, all that stuff. And then we'll be able to execute that lease and move forward with the financing. In terms of next steps for the County Council, we'll be back in June for the pledge resolution, which will sort of flesh out the final financing structure of the next month before that. And we'll also have the additional appropriation. Typically, you'd appropriate the bond proceeds, but since the building corporation in this case is the bond issuer, we're actually appropriating the proceeds we will receive from the building corporation for the sale of those 2 assets, the project site and the county courthouse, to the building corporation to be leased back to the council. So with that, and I apologize for ranting a little bit, but happy to take any questions.
How long does the building corporation stay in existence? Is it until after all the bonds are paid off, or is it until after the construction's completed?
It should be for the entire term of the bonds as the bond issuer. Realistically, a lot of it's sort of a paper transaction, truthfully, and the county handles everything really. But the technical answer would be that it should be in existence for the term of the bonds.
For the life of the bonds?
The courthouse is collateral for the lease of the bonds, okay.
In a way, yes. And
Yeah.
at the end of the construction period, what we'll do is we'll execute an addendum to the lease where we'll take out the courthouse from that lease, so it won't be subject to the lease anymore. And then the project site obviously steps in as sort of the collateral for the bonds,
Thank you for taking that route.
of course.
So, a silly question, but if we didn't pay the bond, would that mean that we wouldn't own the courthouse anymore? Somebody else would own our courthouse?
Well, no, we say collateral, really, there's not a mortgage on the property. Really, and truthfully, what would happen is that bondholders would file a lien with the state, and the state would withhold the taxes from the county to make those payments. Sort of as a way to, kind of like a moral obligation, if you will. But you don't see too many mortgage deals outside, you see them in the school context, because the school statutes on, for bond issuances are a little bit different. But we try to avoid doing a direct mortgage on the property if we can. In this case, we're able to do that.
That's all hypothetical, by the way.
Yes, no, of course, yeah. and
You're
it's-
scaring
it's,
me a little bit, John.
We enjoy paying bills.
Yes, yes.
We do.
And the money to do it, yeah.
Yes.
Any other questions for Max?
Good job.
Okay, so the paperwork before you is Resolution HCCR-10. And we will need a motion and a second to vote on this.
So, Mr. President, I move we approve this resolution HCCR-10 that we've been presented.
Okay,
And I second.
all right. Motion's been properly made by Councilman Faulkner, and Councilwoman Lake. All those in favor of approving of the resolution HCCR-10, sign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Resolution carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Max. All right. All right, next up, we have stormwater for a transfer resolution. I was just expecting you just to come up and keep it rolling.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure what I was gonna say tonight. I believe you have a second resolution in front of you for the changing? Is that where we're at?
I think Alan. It might only be in front of you.
Is it in front of Alan?
I think Tim's got the.
Tim's got it?
Tim's got it.
See?
Who's got it?
So we needed to change the name on the fund so that Madam Auditor would be happy. So that's part of this change is the fund name. And then in this resolution is also the transfer from 1197 up to a dollar amount of $500,000, but I'm really only requesting 200,000 of that to be moved today. We are working with commissioners and Ready To money, trying to get some grant dollars to fund this endeavor as well, which I believe we've gotten 200,000, but we're trying to get 400,000. Is that a fair number? We're asking. We're doing a lot of asking.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we come through, then that will be money that we can push down the road for a ways. So that's, in a nutshell, I believe is
That's
what we're
it.
doing tonight.
There are two different resolutions, one for the transfer,
Oh, okay. One for the transfer and then one for the
new name.
new name.
Okay. Sorry about the name change.
But it's all right.
Sorry about the name change. Sorry, not sorry.
Whatever makes everyone happy.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
all
right.
for it.
That whole reason is just to keep everybody happy. So,
Yep, yep.
What's the new name?
I'd have to
And
read it.
compliance.
It's something Stormwater Infrastructure Fund or, no, Clean Water Infrastructure Fund, I think is what we landed on. We're trying to keep the analogy the same. We're still dealing with sewers, dealing with this. It's just elimination of sewage. That's why stormwater's involved.
Yeah, do you have numbers on
we
those?
need two numbers on those.
Two numbers.
Are they both resolutions?
They're both res?
Yes, both resolutions. 11 and 12?
11 and 12. You want individually?
Where are they?
Down around Frank and Brian.
The name change will be 11,
Okay,
and the
Okay.
transfer will be 12.
okay,
So that's 11.
all right,
This is 12?
That was 12.
all right. So I will entertain a motion for HCCR 11, which is the name change of the fund from what we did just a month ago.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have motions been properly made by Councilwoman Lake and Councilman Roberts. Sorry, John, about forgot your name. All those in favor of HCCR 11 for the name change, sign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, and then the other resolution, which is the transfer resolution we just talked about, is HCCR-12. Anybody have some discussion or want to entertain a motion on that?
Discussion, now does that have to be a transfer at our next meeting before we can, or, I mean, do we have we made any action specifically for this, or will this take care of it?
That's a Jessica question, because I don't understand it yet.
That takes care of it.
This takes care of it?
Yeah, it's like a not to exceed amount. right?
Okay,
Yeah.
so it
Okay.
takes care of it.
Okay, thank you.
It's awesome. Thank you.
I'd like to thank you, Greg, for your due diligence and your creativity in addressing this issue that is a long-term issue. And you are moving forward with it, and it's, kudos. Thank you.
We're trying. There's a lot of folks involved with this, so we'll see some resolutions here very quickly. Like within the next month, we're gonna start moving with this. So,
This,
It's a team effort.
Yep.
this is such a relief because it's been such a need for such a long time.
it will be exciting when we can replicate it and keep it going.
Yeah,
So
nice
that's-
job.
That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, excellent.
You said the discussions you had with the group that you were talking with were positive?
Yes, we did have a meeting with a small group of individuals from Devon Woods.
Devon Woods.
And there was a lot more questions than answers as expected, but the end result is everyone was very positive in the county putting the effort forward to help. And that goes for commissioners and council, and I think the residents realize that.
I'm just
So,
curious,
yes.
Greg, how did you advertise this meeting and how many people showed up?
It was not our meeting. It was a meeting for the estate's attorney. So the estate that owns the wastewater treatment plant that's in failure requested a meeting with the residents that were hooked to the system. And that's how this came about. Now, the next meetings that will be coming up next month, we will be hosting those. It will be a stormwater board meeting, and all of those residents that are connected to the Devon Woods sewer will be invited to that. And that's where the Taylor Sewer Regional District will be requesting these funds. We will have more of an outline of the oversight, what we're gonna try and accomplish with these funds to get the answers needed on moving forward with fixing the wastewater treatment plant and what that would look like. So next month, we should have at least some directions for answers, and then by the, probably around October time period, we should have a report back on best ways to move forward. 3 or 4 different options for the community to move forward in fixing the wastewater problem. That's the goal.
When is that meeting? Do you have it off the top of your head? That's all right.
The Stormwater
Yeah,
District
yeah,
meeting? It has not been scheduled
That's
yet.
fine.
We will, we're gonna have to do a special session, and once we come up with that date, we'll be sending out notices, and I'm happy to invite all of you, so you can sit and listen as well. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Oh, go ahead. That was the last question. The last question that we did ask at the meeting is, do you want us to continue? Because there was a lot of emotion in the room when you're talking money in people's homes and you have no answers. People tend to get upset. So that was basically the last question was, do you want the county to keep moving forward with what we're trying to do to help? And unanimously, everyone said yes. They really appreciated it, and they did want us to keep moving forward. So, yep.
Great.
I was
Making
thinking
Howard-
that when you first introduced this discussion topic to us, you said homes that were built after 1970 with septic systems, they probably are okay.
Most homes after the 70s have some type of septic system, yes. Prior to the 70s, it's a coin toss. They may or may not.
Now, in the case of Devon Woods, do those homes, are they all connected to that privately owned sewer system, or you don't know, or some are and some aren't? Some may be built later and have septic systems?
So in that area, you have a mixed bag. Yes, there are several homes on the sewer plant. I believe there's 64. 60 to 65 folks, homes are on the plant. The rest of Devon Woods is on on-site systems, and whether those on-sites are considered a conventional septic or if there's some other format of a septic. Some of them discharge straight to the ditch, and some of them don't. But it's a mixed bag.
Okay.
Then who makes the decision, the health department, or who says what's good and what's not acceptable?
So it's a couple departments. So the health department and the stormwater district would work together.
Okay.
So if there is an area inside the stormwater district's donut, if we remember, the stormwater district was originally a donut around the city of Kokomo, all right? We had to take in, if a portion of our urbanized area was within a section, we had to take in the whole section into our organization, into the stormwater district's enforcement area. We enforce illicit discharges inside of that donut. So the health department doesn't have to do that work inside the donut. We have a local ordinance that is more restrictive than state statute, and the health department utilizes a state statute for their work on septics. So inside the stormwater district, we do the investigation and we allow the health department to choose how they fix it. So we eliminate that discharge. We give them so much time period to disconnect from the sewage going to the ditch, and the health department works with them for whether they put in an on-site system, whether they go to a sewer, a cluster system. So what this is doing, this revolving loan fund, is helping organize that so that it will make it easier for both departments to come up with a solution. You're welcome. Any other questions?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I will entertain a motion on Resolution 2026 HCC. It says O, I guess. There's R, HCCR 12.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion's been properly made and seconded by Councilman Roberts and Councilwoman Lake. All those in favor of HCCR approval, sign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, I think that finishes new business. Is there any other council business before the board tonight? I have a few things. So, a couple weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go to the jail inspection, and that was my first one, and I really enjoyed that. I think Brett was there. I think Frank was there too, and so that was really good to see that and see all the hard work that the merit officers and dispatch and detention officers are doing out there. So that was cool. For the council people, there's an AIC Northwest district virtual meeting on June 4th to talk about some items coming up. So if you haven't got an invite in your email inbox, let me know. We'll get you hooked up with that. And then the AIC state called meeting is June 12th and 13th down in Indianapolis. If you guys want to go to that, feel free to register and go learn down there with us. So our next regularly scheduled council meeting is June 23rd, right here at 4 o'clock. If nobody else has anything, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you.
Just one quick question. I did go to the commissioners' meeting few weeks ago, and I asked a question regarding the jail project. I thought the state of the county was a very good meeting, letting the people there know about the jail project. Unfortunately, it was at 11:30. And that's a time where a lot of people can't make that meeting. And I know that I heard today you're going to do the June 1st, there's going to be a public meeting. Is that right? Is that going to talk about the jail a little bit? Okay, commissioners meeting. So my question is, how are we rolling out the jail project to the rest of the community? Are there going to be any other meetings in Kokomo that talk about the jail project?
Yes. I
Okay.
don't have the specifics, but Pam or Jack does. Great question, by the way.
I try to ask those kinds of questions.
So June 30th at, I don't know if it's 4:30 or 5, there's a town hall. It will be in the basement here in this building,
June 30th.
June 30th.
Okay,
Town hall, either 4:30 or 5.
okay,
There's a little confusion on the time.
okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank you so much.
It is 4:30.
I'm sorry.
It is 4:30, is that what you said?
Either 4:30 or 5.
Okay.
We'll working that out.
And I'm sorry, Pam, where was it going to be?
The basement.
It's the basement.
I'll also say real quick, we just had a meeting with our local contractors.
Oh, right, yeah.
We invited local contractors to come in and be part of this project. And down in the basement, we had a packed room of local contractors. So we want to get local contractors involved in this project as much as possible. So I was very pleased with the number of contractors we had come in and get information, so that was well attended, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess the other comment I would say is if you guys have some questions, reach out to us, and I know Jack would be happy to answer. I'll answer as best I can and try to keep the information flowing, so. All right, anybody else? For the good of the cause. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment then.
Make a motion, Mr. President, to adjourn this meeting.
All right, I hear a motion by Councilman Roberts. Do I have a second by Councilwoman Lake? All those in favor of adjournment, sign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.